Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today with another Saturday Night Live review, and this time, Jimmy Fallon hosts a historic episode of Saturday Night Live. Now, why is it historic? This was the very first time, and it surprised me that Saturday Night Live was live coast to coast, everywhere, including Canada, at the same time. In the same time zone, you know what I mean? Because we all live in different time zones in the States, of course. And I remember Lester Holt broke that news about a month ago or a month and a half ago that Saturday Night Live is going to be live in all times. So I'm surprised they never did before, but they never did. You know, it's all the way since it started in 1975 that this has happened. Now, as far as Jimmy Fallon goes, I'm not the hugest Jimmy Fallon fan in the world. I don't think he's that funny. He seems like a really nice guy, though. But I know why they want him for the Tonight Show is because his humor is safe. His TV safe. Because whenever, just like, you know, Johnny Carson did the whole thing, and he was perfect. And then when Jay Leno took over, his comedy was very TV friendly, very safe. Then when Conan O'Brien took over, Conan O'Brien was a little too cutting edge, too college, high school, and not, I don't know if it just didn't meld in with the Tonight Show image, I guess, even though those were really good shows. I like Conan O'Brien a lot. And then, of course, Jay Leno took over, and then Jimmy Fallon came back. Well, Jimmy Fallon started, I was on the Tonight Show, and it's been going gangbusters since because his humor's safe. And he does like a lot of singing and dancing type stuff. And that's what he did in this episode of Saturday Night Live. Now, it starts off with another Donald Trump thing with Alec Baldwin playing Donald Trump. And basically, they just reused the same humor they've been using, and it was a throwaway sketch. It wasn't funny at all. They even did the thing where he sat in a little, well, one guy sat in a little desk with that thing that stretches out like that. They've done that 3 or 4 times before, and, you know, there's nothing new or inventive in that skit at all. It was a throwaway skit. And then they had the thing where Jimmy Fallon would come out, and then he'd usually do a skit or something like that. What he did this time was he was saying how historic the show was, live all over the place. And they started playing the song Let's Dance from David Bowie. And he did a whole thing where him and a bunch of people were singing and dancing. Well, he was lip-syncing. And they were going around outside the studio on that floor and stuff like that. And that was actually quite good. I liked how they used the lights and stuff. That was actually really good. I liked the song Let's Dance. I think that was a good tribute to David Bowie. He passed away a few months back, you know, last year. But there was one thing, they had low ceilings. And there was a scene where like people in the background were going like this, up in the air. With my luck, if I was there, I'd end up hitting that ceiling and jamming my fingers up. That's me. Or like doing it and like tearing off a finger or something like that. That hurt like a bitch. Well, anyways, that was good. I like that. That was a good way to start the show. And then it went to a Family Feud type thing. And I like Kenan Thompson's imitation of Steve Harvey. It's actually pretty good. The way he mugs and stuff like that for the camera. I think it's pretty good. And basically he did like a weird time travel episode where they had like people from the 1977 and people from 2017. And one was Jimmy Fallon doing double duty. In 77, he was doing John Travolta for Saturday Night Fever, who was really good. And then he did modern-day John Travolta, real serious and stuff like that. Completely different outfits. And then he was going back and forth between segments. And then he had a thing where Kenan was talking to him. And, you know, and they showed, like, you know, they had the camera off. And then a lot of times you see him run past the camera. And I give him a lot of credit for doing that. He had to be kind of tired because he had to do complete change of wardrobe and hair. And his modern day Travolta wasn't that, but the Saturday Night Live Travolta was really good. Yeah, it was an okay skit. But I give credit to Jimmy Fallon for doing that. And then they had, like I said, a bunch of song and dance stuff. Like I thought they were going to do another musical number, and what they did was they had like a bunch of kids talking behind the scenes. They said a middle school thing of Legally Blonde, And they were talking behind the scenes all serious about how great the show was going to be. And they showed them on stage, and the show was terrible. And they kept cutting back and forth, which was a big problem because on the stage, they were terrible. And then they talked real serious backstage. And whenever it started getting real silly and then it started getting funny, they cut backstage. And then it kind of ruined the whole thing. That was kind of they should have did something different with that one. It wasn't very good. But I mean, it had the potential to be really funny, but they kept cutting away. That was the problem with that one. Next was they had like this guy and girl in this apartment, and he said, I'm so glad you're with me. And said, one thing, my boyfriend's coming back, or his boyfriend came back to try to impress her. And then he played a song, it was Jimmy Fallon, he was doing another song and dance number. And there's two guys behind him. And I didn't know where the heck the skit was going. I thought it was just about him dancing and trying to impress the girl. And then the punchline is what made the skit work. Okay, they did the whole dance number, and the girl said, no, I'm not taking you back. You drug a guy off United Airlines. That's what did it. And then everybody applauded, and then he left. And then she sat down next to the guy, and the guy said, well, I only direct that Pepsi commercial. Like, ah, man. So that was, I thought that was really clever how they did. That was the punchline, because you didn't know where the skit was going. I like that. That was kind of clever. Then next was, I'm trying to think, because some of these skits aren't that memorable. They had something after that. I don't remember. Then they had, there might have been something after that. I just don't remember. Oh, yes, they did. Now I do. They had a message from the Easter Bunny. From the White House Easter Bunny. And then this was the one that I'm not going to talk about. This is one that might cause some controversy. And it was, you see a bunch of kids, and you see the Easter Bunny, and then you see, take out the thing, it was Melissa McCarthy doing that Spicer guy. He said, get out of here, kids, get out of here. And then she said, I'm going to go over my apology once again. And I ain't going near any of this stuff. Very controversial stuff. They'll probably say, I mean, modestly funny, but I mean, I don't know. I think, because usually if they have like a controversial skit, people will be bitching about like on the news shows or stuff, or Donald Trump will probably be mad about it. And I don't want to go too far into this one. I'd try to just say it was controversial. Next was Harry Styles singing, and I'm really not into that kind of music. It was okay. He was okay, I guess. It's just not for me. Anyone knows me knows the kind of music I listen to. And then they had a Weekend Update, and Weekend Update was pretty good. A lot of the stuff was just like stuff about the president, stuff like that. I don't think they've ever went after a president as much as they have Donald Trump. And then they talked about United Airlines, and they talked about the cynicism that people have, the saying like they'll never fly United Airlines again. And then the guy said he'll never fly United Airlines again, that one guy that's doing the joke, unless they offer me a cheaper flight for wherever I'm going to go. And that's a traditional consumer thing. Money talks and BS walks. You know that. And that was an alright thing. What else happened? Oh, they had a real gross joke about the woman in Australia who gave birth to a 13-pound baby and said she had a blooming onion. That was really gross. I laughed though. What was after that? Trying to think. I think that was the Civil War thing came after that. And basically it was another song and dance thing. They said they wanted to sing a song. And they were singing a song. And then a guy started singing some song, Party in My Parents' House. I don't know the song, so I didn't get the reference jokes. I think I might... Party in My Parents... I think I know a little bit. And it was basically like it was a killer hook. And that was the whole joke. That was a nothing skit. The next skit was a commercial parody for the turtle shirt. Now, I thought this was actually pretty genius because basically what it was, like if you say something like wrong just in a conversation and then you feel real awkward and stuff like that, this thing you could hide inside your shirt, like your head would go down like a turtle inside your shirt like this. That was clever. I think we've all had those times where it was an awkward part in a conversation or something like that and you wish you could just disappear. That was really, I thought that was clever. Not that funny, but a neat idea and clever. What happened after that? I'm trying to think. Did I miss something? What do you think? That. Oh, they had something that brought back some memories. They had Jimmy Fallon, and they were doing that Boston thing where they say "wicked pissa," and Rachel Dweck came back on there, and that brought back some memories. I forgot about that skit a long time ago. It wasn't that funny, but brought back some memories, so that was okay. And you seeing Rachel Dweck come back on. Like I said, it wasn't that funny though, but it was cool seeing that character. See if there's anything after that. It seemed like I'm missing something. I don't remember. Oh, I'm missing something. Because, I mean, some of these skits are forgettable. I mean, it's hard to remember from memory, even after you just seen the show. They had Harry Styles come on again. Like I said, it was okay. And just like before, the best skit was at the very end. The best skit was really funny. They were going to do like a thing like they did with the Pepsi thing last week, where they were filming something, but this time they were filming a movie, and like these three guys playing basketball, and then this coach comes up and talks to the guys, and then you see the guys in the background still playing basketball. Except these guys were awful. It was Jimmy Fallon and someone else, and that was really, really funny. I wish the rest of the show would have been like that. It would have been a really good show if it would have been. That was the best skit. I mean, there was a few jokes throughout besides that, but otherwise than that, it was just an okay show. I give that a very mild 5.5 out of 10 for Jimmy Fallon hosting a historic episode of Saturday Night Live. Like I said, the last couple of, usually the last skit or so is usually terrible. But I mean, the last skit's been the best skit. I don't know why they didn't bump that one up. Maybe put that Civil War thing at the very end. That was really funny. I like that skit. They should have moved that closer up to the top of the show. But oh well. I hope you liked this review of Saturday Night Live. Jimmy Fallon hosts a historic episode of Saturday Night Live. So until next time, everybody, please take care of my legion. And happy Easter. I got an Easter video coming. Well, I got Easter video coming up at noontime tomorrow.